The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Gurman. I am a senior planner with the city's planning division. I just have my camera on briefly, so you have something besides a disembodied voice. And we'll go ahead and turn that back off now. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this neighborhood meeting. Tonight we will be discussing an application to expand the grounds of the existing Flatirons Academy private school. Please observe the following rules during this evening's meeting. The names of participants will be read into the public record, and this meeting is being recorded. Our meeting tonight will generally follow the agenda that you see on your screen. Please allow me to introduce the members of the city staff that are attending this evening. We have Michael Wright, Principal Engineer, Nathan Enck, Engineer, Alex Gann, Engineer. Michael and Nathan are from our Engineering Division. Alex is from our Public Works Division. Jen Baden is our Planning Aide. She's helping me to run tonight's meeting. John McConnell is our Principal Planner, and Rita McConnell is our Planning Manager. Also attending and representing Flatirons Academy this evening are Brandy Rice and Elise Applegate and Patrick Hannon of Norris Design. They're providing planning and landscape architecture. Mitch Dowdy, Director of Operations, and Blake Carlson, both of the school board president, and they're both of the Flatirons Academy. Tess Hogan and Raphael Castrell, they're civil engineering consultants. Tim Stroh is architecture, and Stephen Baker providing lighting design. We will have an opportunity for questions and answers this evening. Please type your questions into the chat box and they will be read aloud after the applicant's presentation. If time allows, we may be able to entertain questions from live speakers. Also, please remember that the meeting is being recorded. I will now move into this evening's staff presentation, which will provide a brief overview of the project and look at the city's review process. Here you can see the location of the Flatirons Academy School as it exists today at the northeast corner of 120th Avenue and Zuni Street. To the right of the image, you can see the 3 vacant lots that the school wishes to add to its grounds for the purpose of expanding its campus. The accompanying vicinity map provides a sense of the surrounding road network. Flatirons Academy is a K-12 private school that wishes to expand its grounds to facilitate the construction of athletic fields and additional parking areas for student and staff use. The proposed expansion is not intended to enlarge the student population, but rather to provide on-site school athletic opportunities for the students. If approved, the expansion would result in a total campus area of approximately 21.6 acres. This diagram shows the proposed layout of the expanded school grounds, which features a baseball diamond, football field, seating areas, a press box, walking paths, and additional parking areas and drive aisles. Just north of the football field, which can also be used for soccer, is a maintenance building, and there are also ancillary uses such as a small playground. The development review process that Flatirons Academy is undertaking as the applicant to secure approval for the proposed project is shown here. Staff has reviewed and initially submitted preliminary and official development plan and has provided review comments to the applicant. The next step in the process is tonight's neighborhood meeting, which is highlighted here in gold. Following this meeting, the applicant will produce revised versions of the plans, which city staff will continue to review and comment on. This iterative process will ultimately produce the final version of the plans, which will be taken to Planning Commission and the City Council, which will vote to approve or deny the project. Applicable development review standards that the city planning staff considers when reviewing the plans for the Flatirons Academy project are shown on the screen. While this is not an exhaustive list, it does capture the bulk of the standards considered. On this slide, you can see the 2 code sections that govern review of the preliminary development plan and the official development plan for the project. Staff recommendations are based primarily upon the review of these 2 code sections and the development review standards detailed on the previous slide. Now we will hear from our applicant, represented by Ms. Brandy Rice of Norris Design. Brandy, it's all yours.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you to everyone listening in tonight. We appreciate your time. Next slide, please. As Dave mentioned, our team of consultants is here to answer any questions you may still have after the presentation. Next slide, please. And I'll let Mitch talk a little bit about the school.
Hi, my name is Mitch Dowdy. I'm the Director of Operations here at Flatirons Academy, and I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera back off as well now that I've made an introduction. We're a K-12 private Christian school. This is our 25th year of operation, and we spent the last 10 years on our current campus. Flatirons offers a traditional liberal arts curriculum. We pride ourselves in high academics. We're in the top 5% of schools nationally for student growth, and we do have a specific focus on helping students across a broad spectrum grow academically, and specifically in reading and math. And in addition to strong academics, we offer art, piano, guitar, and voice lessons, pep band, football, volleyball, basketball, soccer, and baseball. So co-curricular activities are a significant portion of our program. We've had 2 state championships in the last 2 years, one in baseball and one really recently in girls basketball. And we're currently headed to the playoffs in both football and volleyball for the adjusted spring seasons in our current year. Our goal is just to continue to improve our program, and we're just excited about where the school's headed. I'll hand it back to Brandy.
Next slide, please. Thank you, Mitch. Next slide, please. As we said, the heart of this project is the athletic field addition to the campus. We are proposing a combination football soccer field with a baseball field that also has dugouts and bullpen areas. There is a central press box area with some built-in seating, as well as some upper level outdoor seating that can be used for concessions, as well as viewing activities from now on the fields. There's an adjacent play area for children to utilize while games are going on, as well as pedestrian walkways to connect all of the activities together. There's some supporting parking areas, one to the south and another to the north. There is a maintenance shed to the north of the football field, as well as a security fencing on the surrounding the fields and extending the brick wall along the south property line. The fields are proposed to be artificial turf and will be surrounded by water efficient landscaping. Next slide, please. The team has worked to ensure that there is good connectivity between the existing school and the new athletic fields. There is pedestrian walkway connecting the current main entry front of the school, as well as the gymnasium, up into the core of the athletic area, and from there to the fields and to the surrounding walkways around the perimeter of the school. There is also vehicular access existing off of Zunai Street that you can drive through the existing parking area into the proposed parking area and on east to North Tejon Street. Next slide, please. The lighting has been designed to create minimal disturbance to the surrounding area. These fixtures are full cutoff fixtures. And of note, you can see there's a line delineated on the plan that shows the 0.1 foot candle lighting level, and that is significant in that it's slightly less than the amount of light you would get from a full moon on a clear evening. Next slide, please. The landscape has been designed to create a good buffer to the surrounding area, especially on the west side. There's a dense landscape buffer to minimize any lighting or noise impacts to adjacent properties as well as the visual impact. Next slide, please. As mentioned, there are 2 buildings being proposed on the site. There is a press box with classrooms, concessions, restrooms, as well as food administration functions. There's also a maintenance shed, which is primarily for equipment storage. These have been designed with a simple architecture with similar colors and textures to the existing buildings to try to create a visually similar and cohesive campus. Next slide, please. Again, I want to thank you for coming tonight, and I will turn it back over to Dave.
Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate that, and very nice presentation. We now will turn this over to our question and answer period. Jen, do we have anybody waiting to speak that you can see?
No, Dave, there is nobody in the waiting room, and I have not been contacted either email or a phone request.
Okay. Just for review, we'll give it a few minutes while we're waiting, just for review. This is our development review process. Again, tonight is our neighborhood meeting, which is highlighted in a gold color with the not flashing, but cool little lights around. For those who are wondering about the next steps, once the planning process is completed, which ends with the City Council's decision, if the project moves forward, it would then go to civil construction drawings with our engineering division. And when it's finally ready for being built, building permits, and then construction. Also, I will offer for those interested, this is contact information for me, and also the website where you can go and view information about this project in greater detail. If you need anything or have questions about this project, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Mr. McConnell, I don't believe we have any other attendees. Do we have any questions from either staff or our attending consultants and applicant? Hearing none, at what point do we want to call this a meeting?
Mr. Gurman, seeing that there are no attendees, I believe we can end the meeting. Again, it will be posted in its entirety on our development page on the city's website.
Okay, thank you, Mr. McConnell. I'd like to extend a thank you to all of our staff who contributed their time this evening in support of our application. And of course, all of our applicant and their team members that came along. We do appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to help reach out to the public and ensure that we have a transparent review process with the public. And thank you very much, everybody, and have a great evening. Stay safe out there. The roads could be a little wet and slick. I guess it's still snowing. So y'all have a good evening, and thanks again for coming.
Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you.
Thanks a bunch.